Slavery started on our soil before we were a country. When slave owner Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, he wrote that all men are created equal. Not everyone of African descent was enslaved. In 1813, when Naval Commodore Perry anchored his fleet at Sandusky, free black men constituted about 15% of the crew. Sandusky's large navigable harbor attracted merchant sailing vessels. In 1818, travel on Lake Erie sped up when the first Lake Erie steamboat was built, a paddle wheeler named Walking the Water. People escaping slavery boarded Sandusky boats to Canada with the help of free black Sanduskians. Many of these stories were published by Sandusky lawyer Rush Sloan.
The first runaway slave in Sandusky was in the fall of the year 1820. He was taken by friends to a tavern on the corner of Wayne and Water Street, to John Dunker, who was the tavern owner. He was assisted by Captain Shepard, who owned a small vessel.
The word underground meant secret, not tunnel.
When the Lake Erie and Mad River Railroad linked Cincinnati with the Sandusky, fugitives from slavery were hidden aboard the trains to Sandusky and then were smuggled aboard steamships headed to Amherstburg or Windsor.
The Reverend Thomas Boston assisted fugitives traveling through the south side of Sandusky.
Between 1820 and 1860, sailing ships coexisted alongside merchant sailing vessels. Josiah Henson tells the story of how he and his family boarded a sailing vessel to go to Canada.
We came out west of Sandusky City. I hid my companions in the bushes. I observed a vessel. I was asked if I wanted to work and soon entered into conversation about the best route to Canada. He told the captain, who offered to take my family to Buffalo, whither they were bound. Then Captain Burnham put us on board the ferry boat across to Canada.
Published in 1852, Uncle Tom's Cabin sold over 1 million copies and touched readers' hearts.
In Sandusky, while slave catchers watched the steamship docks, fishing boat captains smuggled people to Canada on their Sharpies. In 1853, Captain George Sweagles sailed his fishing Sharpie to Canada, carrying 4 people escaping from slavery.
The anti-slavery actions of Sandusky's black community continued. In 1863, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. African Americans could now enlist in Northern regiments.
In Sandusky, 26 African Americans enlisted in the Union Army and got on board an eastbound train, risking their lives to end slavery. The community raised $5,000 for the Civil War volunteers.
From the 1820s through the Civil War, free black Sanduskians deserve the credit for escorting, secreting, and arranging boat travel for those who traveled through Sandusky on their way to freedom.